Hey, DNA Strand crew, TJ here with the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast. Today we're going to be bringing you our Rookie 2023 Wide Receiver Film Session, Part 2. Going to be a lot of good guys on this episode. It's going to be a lot of fun. And also tune in and see how you could win a signed Bijan Robinson mini helmet. Stay in, tune in with us. Join us, won't you?
Welcome to the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast, where we talk Dynasty Fantasy Football, fantasy rankings, and everything NFL. Join us and dominate your Dynasty League. It's in your DNA. And here's your host, TJ Blake.
Welcome back, DNA Strand crew. Yes, I'm the host of the Dynasty DNA Fantasy Football Podcast, TJ Blake. You can find me on Twitter at TJ Blake DNA. And as always, we're joined by our show architect and co-host, the A-Train Andy Blake. You can find him on Twitter at A-Train DNA. How you doing today, Ann?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. And next in the line of order, we got the co-host and the producer, Ty Blake. You can find him on Twitter at Dynasty DNA. Ty, how you doing today, Ty?
Pretty good. How's it going, man?
We're doing good. And last but not least, we have the greatest news anchor ever since Ron Burgundy. It's Muscles Ryan Mail. You can find him on Twitter at Dynasty DNA. Muss, what's going on, Muss?
Not a whole lot. What's happening?
Not much. Well, today we're going to hop in. We're going to do our second part of our 2023 Rookie Wide Receiver Film Session Review. A lot of good guys on this list, so it's going to be a lot of fun jumping into them. But before we get into any of that again, we're going to bring up the Bijan Robinson Mini Helmet Sweepstakes. First thing that you have to do to be entered into this sweepstakes is, if you get on our Twitter, follow us at our Twitter at DynastyDNA_. You follow us over there, you retweet the picture of the helmet, you'll be entered once to enter the Bijan Robinson mini helmet sweepstakes. You might say, wow, that's a great deal. I mean, that'd be awesome. Well, guess what? You could be entered twice if you also subscribe to us over on YouTube, and you can put that in the comments or on the Twitter page. You could screenshot that over there and show that you subscribe, and you could be entered twice.
That's two for the low price of $19.95.
That's right. That's right. And how could you beat that, man? That's a beautiful helmet. I'd love to have that for my collection.
It is really nice.
It really is. And if you're a Bijan fan, man, that'd be a good one. I know one guy said he had all these famous running backs. He'd love to have it. Boy, that'd be nice.
Yep.
Really
I think he said he had a Barry Sanders one. That was pretty cool.
It is. Yeah. It is. I like them retro helmets.
Yeah, me too.
But before we hop into anything, we're going over to the breaking news of Muss.
All right. I kind of thought this was kind of funny. Did you guys see that J.J. Watt got a random drug test?
Yeah, I did see that.
From the NFL.
Really? I did see that.
Would it even matter?
No, I mean, that's the funny part. Like, he posted it on his Twitter or Instagram or whatever.
Yep. He's retired.
He's, retired, and he gets a text message. It's like, hey, this is so-and-so from the,
What were they trying to do, the dodgeball? You've tested for 14 anabolic steroids in a beaver tranquilizer.
Yeah, I mean, he's retired and everything. But
yeah, it's crazy.
I'm pretty sure I've seen something where he said he wanted to try smoking weed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm disappointed that, did you see that guy tweeted at him? It was like, you need to take the league minimum and come play with your brothers. And he tweeted back, he said, I love my brothers, but I don't love them that much.
Yeah. I just think he's wore down, man.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
His body, I mean, he had so many injuries. He's like the bionic man.
Yeah.
Bring him in and give him that James Harrison rule that Mike Tomlin gave James Harrison that one year. Yeah. Bring him in on third downs every now and then.
Yeah, he wouldn't be there long.
No.
Yeah, like an old car, you only get him out every once in a while.
Yeah, what a douche. This isn't really news, but the Packers are disgusted with Rodgers, so they said the divorce is imminent.
Who isn't really?
Yeah, old Karen Rodgers.
Isn't he going somewhere in the dark? Did you guys see that?
I think he's back.
He's back.
I think
he's going on somewhere with pure darkness, probably doing a bunch of drugs.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like some dark sabbatical. I've seen that. But honestly, the Packers, I think at this point will take anything. I mean, I honestly think if teams wait, they'll probably take a third or a fourth because they want to get rid of that contract.
Yeah. And then I think this actually happened a little bit ago, but the Kamara video leaked. I just saw it today, and he got indicted, so I don't know what that means or anything like that. But I did see a lot of people, like we were talking before the show, are panic selling them.
Yeah.
So
it looks like a suspension's imminent, but I wouldn't panic sell.
No, I wouldn't. For we're seeing 210. No.
Yeah.
No way.
Honestly, could be a good buy right now if you're running back needy.
Yeah,
if you're a contender.
Yeah.
Someone wants to sell for 210. Sign me up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Oh, yeah.
I like a lot of these running backs, but
Yeah. Eric Bieniemy, Commander's new offensive coordinator.
And like Andy is, he knew this all along.
yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, man. I mean, the whole Washington thing's just a mess. I mean, I don't understand I don't think they even understand what they're trying to do.
No.
Like I said, it's just weird that Kansas City wanted him out like that.
Yeah.
Like they won the Super Bowl and he took another offensive coordinator job. I
Right.
don't know.
I know. Robert Woods and Taylor Lewan cut. And then they cut a linebacker too, but I don't.
Tennessee shading cap, and we talked about this earlier. I think that here before long they'll be down in the pit, with a lot of the bottom teams.
Yeah.
And then, so we don't, that's really all I got, but we don't have any games to really talk about. So I kind of saw Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft, so I figured maybe take 5 minutes to go over that, fantasy relevant players.
Yeah.
He has Houston taking Bryce Young at number 2.
bad.
Yeah, Houston's
Yeah.
going to have to do something like that.
Yeah.
I can see that.
And then he's got Stroud going to the Colts at number 4.
Could see that
Yep.
too.
Yeah, no surprises there. And then Will Levis to Atlanta at number 7.
Yeah, because Levis, I think, will end up with either Carolina or Atlanta. I think that'll be good because he's not going to be taken in the top 5, I don't think.
Do we think there's a team that could possibly trade up?
Yeah, see, he didn't have anybody trading up, but I mean, I could definitely
We
see
see it
some-
every year.
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised that he had the Bears taking somebody at 1, so that he had the Bears
Yeah.
not trading out. But I
Probably Will Anderson.
Probably.
yeah. And then Jordan Addison to Houston at number 12.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that.
No,
Be a nice stack for
I think
Houston.
Houston's going to be turning it around soon. They got D'Amico in there. They're getting their staff.
Right.
Hey, if that happens, you said right around top 10. So.
Yeah.
and then here is the shocker. Number 15, Green Bay Packers tight end Dalton Kincaid.
I've been hearing he's a riser.
Yeah, the hype train's getting real on him. It's
Wow.
I always thought it was going to be Michael Mayer, but
Yeah.
I think people are having flashbacks of Tyler Eifert with Michael Mayer.
Yeah.
And I haven't reviewed film of him, but I
Yeah,
just
me
think
either.
I just think a Notre Dame guy, maybe they're getting cold feet.
And then number 18, Anthony Richardson to the Lions.
Oof. Oh, I don't like
Oh,
that.
to the Lions.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it.
See, I don't know why. I just don't see the Lions taking a quarterback.
I don't either.
But at number 18, I mean, at least
Yeah.
they're not taking him number 5, like a quarterback number 5.
Yeah, but Jared Goff played good enough to where
But Jared Goff's older, and Richardson's kind of raw.
Jared Goff ain't too old. He isn't. He's a real old.
Yeah.
One game away from the playoffs for the Lions, I would be surprised. I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
saying
I would too. They need defense.
anything could happen, but their defense was atrocious outside Aiden Hutchinson.
Heck, I could see them taking Bijan over a quarterback there.
yeah, me too.
Knowing Dan Campbell, but
Speaking of running backs, this was the shocker here. Number 19, Bijan going to the Tampa Bay Bucks.
I don't know. I don't know about that either. Rashad White looked
I don't
pretty good
know.
last year.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is
That's
Fournette a free agent?
No, but I heard he could be cut. He's a good
Okay.
cut candidate.
Okay. But yeah, I didn't think that move really made sense because they're going to be rebuilding.
Yeah.
If he goes high, I think the Eagles will be the team. If Bijan goes in the top
Yeah.
15.
Yeah.
And then number 20, JSN goes to the Seahawks.
I mean,
Yeah.
I could see it. They like to do stuff like that.
They do.
He'd be a good Tyler Lockett replacement, I think.
Yep. And then number 21, Quentin Johnson goes to the Chargers.
Well, that'd be really good for
man.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, his stock
Paired
would
with
rise.
Herbert.
Yeah.
Jalen Hyatt going to the Giants at number 25.
I've seen that quite a bit.
Yeah, they're linked to him quite a bit. I see the Ravens, too, on Hyatt.
Yeah.
And then number 28, Michael Mayer to the Bengals.
Yeah, they need
Yeah.
it. I mean, really with the Bengals, you can almost take a luxury pick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, he's just going to be a complimentary piece.
Yeah.
I
Right.
mean, nobody,
He's probably not going to get the targets.
No, nobody's going to out-target Chase or T or anybody like that in that offense. So-
But talking about Cincinnati, I wouldn't be surprised if they take a running back.
I
later.
was just going to say that. Literally, I was just going to say I wouldn't be surprised if they're in on Bijan if he's
Yeah.
there.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
With the stuff going on with Joe Mixon.
Yeah, that is true.
That's just a sneaky thought.
Is Hayden Hurst still there next year?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know about next year.
I think he was a 1-year deal. I'm
Is he?
not sure.
I don't know.
I'm not sure either. Number 29, Zay Flowers to the Saints.
I've been seeing Twitter hype him up. I haven't watched him yet.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So we're going to see.
He's on the third show.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that was all in the first round. I just figured I'd write them down and get everybody's initial reaction.
Yeah, because these are going to be coming out hot and heavy, and you know we're getting so close to the combine. I can't wait.
That's going to show a lot of stuff.
And Daniel Jeremiah, I think, is one of the top writers for mock drafts.
Yeah.
So
he's done it a long time.
Yeah, very good. Get that out there. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Muscle. As always, we appreciate you going over that. We're going to hop into these receivers hot and heavy. We got another 8 on the list this week, and we're going to hop right over here to the train. He's going to go first. He's the engine. We're going to be bringing up Michael Wilson, Stanford Cardinals, 6'2", 209 pounds. What do you think of Michael Wilson?
Well, he had a really good Senior Bowl, and that's where I kind of first started watching Michael Wilson. I thought he looked pretty good. I mean, he looked good in practice. Scored in a game, I believe, had he over 100 yards. So the pros on him, he's a good contested catch guy from what I've seen in film. Again, decent Senior Bowl. Good against the press. I noticed that. He's real quick, real good with his hands, real quick feet. He gets off the line really, really well. Got a real good first move. He has really good hands. Could be a nice later round pick. So, like, when I'm saying I like Michael Wilson, I don't think he's a second round guy. Like, I think he's more of that maybe third, fourth round guy.
Yeah. I think on a good day, third.
Yeah. And that's in the NFL draft and in rookie draft. So he could even fall a little bit with these running backs too. And, dynasty picks.
Okay.
I couldn't get it out there.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. If everybody's taking running backs, maybe be the first to go on to Michael Wilson as a receiver.
Yeah, and the thing is with Michael Wilson, I really liked what I seen, especially at the Senior Bowl. Like you said, he really gets off the line quick for a big man.
Yeah, he does.
And a lot of the guys we watch that are big in this class have kind of struggled in that aspect. They haven't wowed me. They just seem like big, slow turds.
I know. They're not used in the red zone.
Yeah. And
he could be used in the red zone. Wasn't used in the red zone a ton either, though. So some of the cons, I'll just go over them real quick. Obviously, he's a senior, so he's a little bit older, his age. Very limited tape from what I've seen. Like I said, didn't hear about him until the Senior Bowl. So that's something that's a little bit alarming. Draft capital, like I said, hopefully I'm hoping third or fourth. If he goes later, it's probably not good.
Yeah.
So not a speed top end guy, just real quick off the line. Not a big yak guy. Didn't have a lot of forced missed tackles. I didn't see anything really good after the catch. So kind of maybe a possession down the field guy.
Yeah.
And again, just hoping he gets the opportunity.
Yep, for sure. And that's just it. Like you hit it on the head. It's like, where does he end up, like in the draft? Mm-hmm. Where does he go? Because that's going to be so important. The higher he gets picked, the more he's going to be coveted. But, I just see a raw guy there with a lot of talent. Seemed like he's pretty decent contested catch, too. Like, when he got the chances. Like
down the field.
Didn't seem like he got many chances. But at the Senior Bowl, man, he made that one really nice play.
Yeah.
Went up and snatched it. So, he's someone I'd like. If I would take a flyer on him, especially if he was drafted. Even if he was drafted, I'd take a flyer on him 4th, 5th round.
Yeah.
Just because I like the upside.
And right now, I currently have him ranked 9th out of 18. Now we got guys like Quentin Johnston, who's obviously going to be ahead.
Oh, yeah.
All this Zay Flowers talk, I'm sure he's going to be ahead. So, at the end of the day, he's probably going to be like at 12, 13.
Right.
Yeah.
So right now at 9. So I gave him a C+ on his film. Like I said, the limited amount, I did like it. Like it.
He made a lot of catches over the middle.
Yeah.
He wasn't afraid to take the hit.
No.
He was a great run blocker. Usually he was on special teams, but he only played 14 games in 3 years, so like that's kind of
that's where the raw comes in, man. That's what I say. He's just really raw, but you see the ability. He's just God gifted ability,
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up, see where he gets drafted. Someone to keep an eye on for maybe a later round, just a good prospect.
I think right now, NFL-wise, he's supposed to be a 5th round pick right now.
Round pick.
So
that's not horrible. I would take him in the 4th or 5th round if he was picked in the 5th round.
Yeah, I'm hoping he go in like the 3rd or 4th. Don't know if that happens.
Hey, you could blow up the combine.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
that's next week, isn't it?
Coming up. Yeah, I think a lot of the skill players are like the 5th or 6th or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be something to keep an eye on, but someone to watch.
Yeah.
For sure. We're going to go over to me here. It's going to be another guy that I was bouncing back between this one and Wilson quite a bit, but it's going to be Xavier Hutchinson, wide receiver Iowa State Cyclones, 6'3", 205 pounds. I'll tell you what, man, another guy that's big but just doesn't have blow-you-away speed. Didn't see a lot in the contested catch game. You know, I like to see that with the big guys, but I will say this. Really good at yards after the catch. Like, for his size, he uses it. He breaks tackles quite a bit. One of the better tackle breakers in this group. Not bad hands. I mean, he's definitely don't got the greatest hands in the class, but definitely serviceable. I like him. I mean, like I said, he usually goes up and snatches it. Not the flashiest route runner. He's just a guy to me that seems like he does everything like good average. You know, like there's nothing like that's horrible. There's nothing that's great, really, other than the broken tackles and a little bit of the yard after the catch. Just seems like everything else is good average. And again, you know, it's you don't want to get too far ahead of yourself with these guys, you know. But Iowa State's been putting up some decent prospects lately, you know. So it'll be interesting to see where he ends up in the NFL draft. I mean, I'm going to guess probably 4th round. If I had to just put my finger on it, it's going to be somewhere in there. But I see a big guy that breaks quite a few tackles. I think he's got a good attitude. I think he's going to make a roster no matter where he goes. I think he could play special teams. And again, I mean, when you're picking somebody that late in your dynasty rookie drafts, you know, you want them to make the roster because then they might have an opportunity. So he's someone I'd look at in the 4th or 5th round. What did you guys think of Hutchinson's game?
I thought he had some spectacular catches.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of them catches and I'm like, wow, I can't believe he came down with that. And, I mean, his yard, like you said, with the yards after catch, like he had a lot of stiff arms, spin moves, and then, like, he wasn't afraid to just lower his head and go into the defender and run him over. So, like, his yards after catch is crazy.
Uses his size.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought his hands were just natural. Like, I mean, he had great hands.
Yeah, he did.
And but like you said, I mean, he's just not that athletic and just decent speed. Just nothing that's going to blow you away.
Right, right. He was a little handsy too, you know. And I mean, I hate to nitpick because I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, they're prospects, you know. But I was telling Andy, I seen that one game against Iowa where he was going for a back shoulder throw for a touchdown. He got away with one, man. He pulled that guy right in front of the referee, and I mean, I don't know how he got away with it, but he scored the touchdown. But just, I mean, I don't know. I seen, I mean, like a couple of drops. I mean, it wasn't nothing crazy, but like, I don't know. I mean, I really like him. Like I said, I like he uses his size. He bowls people over.
Yeah.
He's hard to bring down in the open field.
Right.
4th or 5th round, man, if he's there, if he can, you know, I don't think he's going to be like a late 3rd round pick in dynasty drafts. I think he'll be a 4th round guy. But I would take him. I'd take him in the 4th round. I've seen enough to justify that anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully just lands at a really good landing spot because I think he has a lot of potential in the red zone.
Yeah.
He's got
I
good
agree with
hands,
that.
and just like you said, he uses his body well, and he just contorts to the ball a lot. So I think he could be a really good red zone guy.
Right. And these guys, like I said, these guys are prospects, man. They're prospects in every sense of the word. I mean, they're not finished products yet, and that's the thing. And that's whenever we see what kind of draft capital they get and what team they end up on.
Yeah.
'Cause that can make them go up the board.
I got him at 8 currently, right ahead of Michael Wilson.
That's exactly where I have him.
Is
8.
it? And it's the reason why is he was really productive all throughout his college career. I mean, I really like Michael Wilson, but where do you think a guy that's putting up the numbers like him, he's probably going to go ahead of him.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's what I said. Like, just good average player.
Yeah, and he's not real athletic, so, like, you don't see the big flashy plays, but he could be the guy that gets 6, 7, catches a game in the right situation for the 70, 80 yards and possibly a touchdown.
Yep, he's that kind of player. I put him as a comp like Zay Jones.
Yeah, I would feel really comfortable taking him in the mid 3rd round in rookie drafts if in the right spot with the right capital.
Right. I mean, it's just so it's so hard with these guys that are down towards the bottom because it's like we've only watched so many.
Yeah,
how many more are like Xavier Hutchinson? That's the thing. Once we cipher through all of them, and then we can see.
Right.
I mean, he definitely could get better capital, and maybe even what we're thinking now.
Yeah.
So that's something to watch. But we're going to go over to Ty now. It's going to be one that hits close to home. It's going to be Parker Washington, wide receiver, Penn State Nittany Lions, 5'10", 215 pounds. What do you think of Parker Washington, Ty?
Yeah, some positives I've seen about Parker Washington was he does a great job in finding the open spots on the field. He's got great hands for being a big guy. And he's just another guy, kind of just like what we talked about. He's another guy who can just go up and get the football. He's a very good blocker for his size, and he's also he's got average long speed, but not a big-time downfield guy. He's kind of like a Swiss Army knife. He can play the outside. He can play the slot. But some negatives on him. He's not quick off the line. He's not quick in and out of his breaks on routes. He struggles in press man coverage, which is concerning for a player that plays a lot in the slot. He lacks the upside in the NFL, and to me, he just seems like another guy. I don't see really any like big-time potential in him. He could surprise me if he gets a good landing spot, but anymore, man, there's just so many good receivers in the league. You really got to be super, super good to be a great, great player in the NFL. But I think he's going to be a late third, early fourth-round pick, and his pro comp for me is Amari Rodgers.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it just, again, like going back to Xaiver Hutchinson, just seems like another guy that's just kind of average.
Yeah.
You know, does everything decently, but nothing flashes. But I will say this for him, man. I know that he's a hard worker, you can tell. He's got a good attitude. Seems like to me that one thing that he does, kind of like Xaiver Hutchinson, he can break tackles.
Right.
You know, it seems like he does run hard after the catch. He'll give you everything he's got. So, I mean, I think he's someone, again, that'll make an NFL roster, and it's like if you can get him as someone you could stash on your taxi squad, you never know. You might get the opportunity. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think of Parker, Ian?
The first note I have, built like a brick shit house. I mean, 5'10", 215. That's a big dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm like Ty. I didn't see a ton of like, I didn't see a ton of just like flashiness.
Right.
Like he's just kind of an average guy. Something that's concerning I've seen, played in the slot 80% of his 3 years. So
Yeah, never on the outside.
mainly just a slot guy.
Yeah.
And that probably has to do with, like you said, his route running, just a bit raw, everything like that. I don't think he's really that fast. Like he's just kind of finds an open spot, gets a ball, just does what he does. So
What do you think, like 4.5, 4.6 speed? Probably something like that. I don't think he's 4. I don't think he's 4.
no, I don't think he's 4.4. Yeah, probably 4.5, maybe low 4.6s.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe I'll be completely wrong, but I didn't see it.
Me either. He just didn't blow me away.
No.
He didn't run past people. I mean, when he did get long touchdowns, he broke some tackles. He just got on the right angle, and he just got there, it seemed like. He crossed the goal line just barely.
So, like, he's going to be way more, system landing spot dependent, because if you're only playing in the slot, that's somewhere you're going to have to go where they target the slot guy.
This will hit close to home, too. He's Josh Dobbs' cousin.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fun fact of the day.
Fun fact of the day.
I think he's only a sophomore, too, right?
I think so, yeah.
So it's kind of weird that he even came out. It kind of would have been nice maybe for him to stick around Penn State for a little bit.
Yeah, and try to develop a little bit more, because I'm like you in the slot, man. When you're offering yourself up maybe as more of a one-trick type pony to the NFL, are you really that valuable?
Yeah, because we're going to talk about some guy, another guy here that plays in the slot quite a bit, but I see enough route running to where I think he can still play on the outside.
Yeah.
Right.
And just natural born ability.
Yeah, and I just didn't really see that with Parker Washington. But like you said, good attitude. I mean, he's going to probably still make a roster.
Yeah.
You have a good attitude and you do the dirty work. I mean, you could get an opportunity, but somebody I'm just not really interested in.
No, me either. I mean, I like I said, if I were to take him, it would be with one of them late round picks that don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
Just hoping he makes a roster.
Yep.
All right, well, we're going to go over to Muss. It's going to be another big player here. It's going to be Rakeem Jarrett, wide receiver, Maryland Terrapin, 6 foot, 190 pounds. What did you think of Rakeem, Muss?
I mean, he's a 4-star recruit coming out. I believe his ceiling is like a complimentary receiver. He lacks really a dominant trait. Like, he doesn't really do anything that's fantastic. He lines up in the slot and outside, so that's kind of nice to see. Good hands. He fights off press coverage really well, which is always good to see. Great runner after the catch, and he's great over the middle, which is another one that's great to see this day and age. A lot of people are scared to go over the middle, but he's always one that I saw was catching it over the middle. He wasn't good in contested catches, though.
No.
I have that wrote down, too.
Yep. I mean, it is. I think a ceiling is going to be a number 3 receiver on a team. He body catches a lot. And he always threw his body out there to run block, but he always got bowled over.
It's kind of like a half-hearted block.
Yeah, I mean, he tried, but I mean, he's ranked 10 on my list.
And again, to me, I think in the NFL, the best, I mean, the only thing he could be is a slot type of guy, you know?
I didn't really see the outside much.
No, me either. And it's like, did you see just, too, like a lot of underneath stuff?
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, I don't know, man. And it's so hard to judge a player, too, when you see that. But at the same time, maybe it's easy because if you can't do anything else, if you don't have all the tools in your toolbox, you know, it's like, well, maybe this is what he is. But, yeah, I have him down there, too.
I got him at 14.
Do you? Okay. I got him at 14, too. Did you see anything else with him, man, that stood out or you didn't like?
Yeah, I seen a lot of drops. He had 6 in 2021 and 8 in 2022, and you're only getting 40 to 50 catches. I mean, that's quite a bit.
That is quite a bit.
So that's kind of alarming. Again, like you said, not good on contested catches. I thought he played in a slot quite a bit. Didn't really do anything to stand out, and he kind of took a step back from last year. So, and I don't think he's going to get good draft capital.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance he might not even get picked. I mean, if he does, I'm gonna guess maybe.
I'm really disappointed because these Maryland guys, like I was hoping Demas or him, one of them would stand out. And kind of when I watched highlights, like when you said he contorted his body, made some really nice catches, I was excited. But once you dig in, you don't really see much. It's not good for him. So.
No.
Yeah, and that's just it.
I'm not even picking him. I mean,
me either. He like when you're
I'd
down,
take a chance on a running back.
Yeah, or someone else. I mean, a tight end, something. Because you know how I am. I mean, and this is just the truth, guys. Tight ends in the later rounds, you have a good chance of hitting on some of them guys.
Yeah.
I think it's a good tight end class to do that in.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen it last year. I mean, if you would have, second to third to fourth round. I mean, you got your Dulciches, your Bellingers.
Yeah.
I mean, even Likely played semi-decent at times. I mean, he caught some balls.
Yeah.
So you can get some production out of that position. It's called tight end mining.
That's right.
Well, we're going to go over to And here, and it's going to be one of the biggest hitters in this draft at the wide receiver position. It's going to be JSN, Jaxon Smith Njigba, wide receiver, Ohio State Buckeyes, 6'1", 200 pounds. What'd you see with Njigba in?
So something that stood out to me, I think he's a really good route runner. And I mean, I know he played a lot in the slot, but like the way he moves, it's really like, you know, an art. I really enjoyed that. Really good hands, really quick and short area, I thought. Thought he did a good job finding open spaces. You know, even if he didn't have to run the route, he could find a space, get open, and get the ball. Good contested catch guy. He had 9 and 21, so that was something that stood out to me. Good missed tackle guy. He's really good after the catch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He had 19 and 21. So, and I did these 21 stats because we all know he didn't really play in 22. And that's one of my callings for him. So we only really ever seen this for 1 year. So,
and you just wonder what it was a hamstring injury.
Yeah.
You know, so you just wonder, it's like, what's the deal with that? You know, it's like, is that going to be something that lingers or, you know?
Yeah, I hope not. I think what scares me more is you only seen it 1 year. Like, injury or not, 1 year, it's a little bit alarming to me.
Yeah.
So, but I do think he has really good footwork, did a good job, again, finding the open space. A lot of passes were close to the line of scrimmage, besides the Rose Bowl. You guys see the Rose Bowl where he went off, and I think that's what a lot of people remember him by.
Yeah. And that was against Utah, too, which usually Utah has pretty serviceable football teams.
So that was one where, you know, I was like, damn, he's really, you know, going downfield and looks good. So something that you got to kind of consider. You did see it in a big game. So
yeah, he was able to show out in those games.
So he also played with Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. Can he be that guy?
Well, he led Ohio State in receptions and yardage in 2021 with Garrett and Olave there.
But the only thing I will say is a counter argument with that, when you're in the slot, you're going to see more.
Right.
Yeah, is that going to take away with what they're doing?
Right.
Right.
I really would have loved to have seen it because with Marvin Harrison Jr., like both of them, you know, working with Stroud.
Right.
So another thing that I seen too, I docked him on. He doesn't have elite speed.
No.
He just doesn't.
I've wrote that too.
When I say he's quick and he's fast, I think he's quick and fast in short area. I don't see like down the field, you know.
long speed.
He's not
long speed, exactly.
He's not the home run hitter.
No.
You know, I even put it down. I call him death by 1,000 paper cuts because he just, he keeps getting the ball, and then eventually he'll break one on you that he catches underneath or maybe 20 yards downfield.
Yep.
But he's just really lethal once he gets it in his hands.
Mm-hmm. So that's one thing. It's a little bit more alarming in the outside when you don't have the Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase elite speed on the side. Like, you got to really rely, which we still see now with Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's a great route runner. He's a great technician. He's good at what he does.
Yeah, but he's not going to kill you with speed.
Exactly.
Right.
And the thing is, man, and what was it, 88% he lined up in the slot?
Yes.
And that, like you said, that is concerning. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to, not be able to go to sleep at night over it because I do like the guy. I think he's going to be a good prospect. But the thing is, man, I'm like you. I just would have liked to seen him this year.
Yep.
Like, what could you do on the outside? What could you do to help carry the team?
Right.
That's the thing there. And, he caught 95 balls. I mean, that is a staggering number in 2021.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm curious what he's going to run here at the Combine. I mean, I don't see a 4.4, but if he were to run a 4.4, that'd be unreal.
Yeah, I have him down most likely a 4.5, but I'm like you. I think he really helps his case at a 4.4. Dan, what do you guys think? Honestly, now, I mean, you think it's going to be Addison or did Njigba gets picked first?
See, I'm like a 1A, 1B.
I am too.
I know.
I am too because if Smith and Njigba were to go to like L.A. and be the new Keenan Allen, I would absolutely love it. But, if Addison goes to the Patriots, then I'm probably switch swapping. You know what I mean?
Right. You just wonder who the NFL teams...
I think Addison is the first receiver taken off the board.
I do, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think JSN could even be the third. I think I haven't seen Quentin Johnson, but I'm seeing a lot of these mock drafts where he's super high. So
right.
And the thing is with Quentin Johnson, and you know this, a lot of people like those physical freaks.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll sit there and say the upside. Mm-hmm. JSN's just that guy you can rely on. And I mean, I'm not saying he is Justin Jefferson, but we've seen Justin Jefferson get passed on by a lot of guys with upside.
Yeah,
and
we did.
It come back to bite some of them teams.
Yep.
So that's just something to watch there. Now, who would you like to see him end up with? Is there a certain destination? I know you just said the Chargers.
Chiefs. I think he'd be great with the Chiefs. If they let Juju go, I mean, I think him and Kelsey would work really good together.
What do you guys think about somehow him landing in Jacksonville?
I would love it.
Cowboys. I would
really like the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Minnesota could be interesting.
Yeah.
I just think a team, I don't know. I mean, when you line up a lot more in the slot, you're a little bit, if you're a good route runner out of the slot, I think you could be successful in a lot of places.
Or if he's a slot guy, I'd love to see him in Buffalo.
Yeah.
With
Diggs, that would be really nice.
My.
Yeah, it would be interesting, but I'm like Andy. I think with Buffalo, you need to get more physical.
Yeah.
I agree with that because I think that's what they're missing in the playoffs.
I do too.
They're missing it up front.
Oh, yeah.
And they're missing it in their run game. So they need that. So I don't know if they could really afford that luxury.
Right.
But it would be interesting.
Fantasy-wise.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be fantastic,
really nice.
but NFL franchise-wise,
well,
it wouldn't make sense.
I'm just saying I don't know if they'll do it.
Right.
know?
I think some bad spots would be like Atlanta. They have Kyle Pitts. They have Drake.
Right.
Like, that would be horrible.
That's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
The Saints would be bad.
Saints would be horrible. If you got Andy Dalton throwing to you, or God only knows who.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
It could be Taysom Hill.
Yeah, it could be
God.
Taysom Hill. I mean, Jameis Winston. You never know.
Yeah. There's a lot of quarterback free agents. Surely they'll bring somebody in.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and before we move on real quick, I just want to say this to you guys because this was interesting. I did see this. There was a rumor that Houston would draft him and Stroud. Come in for the double. Double.
Hey,
nice.
I mean, that would be great.
Yeah,
see the chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
so-
you've been seeing it with Waddle and Tua and Burrow and Chase.
Right.
So yeah, they're trying to build off that philosophy. So that's just something to really watch out for.
Yeah, I think that would be nice. And then, so what? They have just 2 first-round picks, right?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It'd be nice if somehow Hyatt were to land an early second to them if they got Hyatt and him.
And they could
so I think they would work really well together, one being super fast and one being that,
Yeah. And that's just it. Like, man, if he ends up in the right spot, it could just be perfect. I'm like you. I think like if the Chargers, that would be just phenomenal.
Yeah, I do too.
So I really like Jaxon Smith Njigba. I know you. Do you have him rated 1 or 2, Ann?
I have him at 2, but like I said, it's a 1A.
Do you have Addison at 1?
I have Addison at 1.
See, I have Njigba at 1, but that was tough.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they both. You just wish you could put both their bodies into like one giant Frankenstein freak.
Yeah.
Who do you prefer, Ty? I'm just curious. Would you
Kind of like these guys. It's kind of a toss-up. Probably Addison, just because he played the full season last year.
Exactly. We've seen it more than 1 year. We've seen it at Pitt. Then he went to USC and did it at USC.
Right.
Now he had one of the best, not one of the best NCAA quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
But he still did it.
and Lincoln Riley? That
Yeah,
don't
and
hurt.
he had Riley. So
Yeah, I don't think there's really a wrong answer.
I don't either, man. But I think it's going to come down to a lot of landing spot.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yep.
And I mean, really, that's it. They're both going to get good capital.
Yeah, they really are, man.
Because I think it would suck if JSN went to the Ravens. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And don't even say that, because that's the kind of player they
Especially
like.
if Lamar,
If Lamar's there, oof.
or if he leaves.
If he gets Huntley, Pro Bowler Huntley, man.
Yeah,
I don't know. He might tear it up.
Did you see what Mel Kiper said? He said if Bijan goes to the Ravens, he's retiring. He said it's not going to happen. He said he will retire if it happens. So maybe no.
How many touchdowns did Hudley throw in the Pro Bowl?
Huntley? Oh,
What was it,
went
4?
flag football?
Yeah, was it 4?
I think so.
Oh, man, imagine throwing the JSN. My. Fantasy value through the roof.
Yeah. He threw more in that flag football game than he did all season.
Yeah, that's true.
Showing up and showing out.
Yeah.
Well, that is, the JSN debate is really interesting. I'm like you guys. I think Addison, I just edge him out because I do think that's the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
The fact that he played this year, but it is super close. I had a tough time with it too. But we're going to go over here to the next one. And it's going to be a guy that he's really interesting, man. He might be the most interesting receiver here just because of his size and what he does. It's Nathaniel Tank Dell, wide receiver, Houston Cougars, 5'10", 165 pounds. Tell you what, man, this guy's really interesting to me because I think he's a really good player. It's just his size that's concerning.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, when I watched him, I seen a guy that arguably could be the best route runner in this class. He's definitely one of them. He's right up towards the top. Burner speed. And, he was Houston's whole offense at sometimes. He's got really nice hands. He usually come down with it when it was around him for his size. Didn't see a ton of contested catches, but being 5'10", that's not his game. Down in the red zone, though, man, he runs some beautiful routes out of the slot. I do think that'll be valuable for some NFL teams if they do draft him. And it's just like anything else. We've seen it with Calvin Austin last year, man. Speed kills. I honestly think he's probably going to be right around a 4th-round guy. Just because of his size. But I wouldn't be surprised if some team would take a chance on him in the 3rd.
Yeah.
Just because of how fast he is.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be really interesting to see what he runs at the Combine. I think between him, Downs, and Hyatt, that'll be, whoever out of them 3 will be one of the ones that run the fastest time. So it'll be really interesting to see. I really like this guy, but would have liked to see him move on the outside a little bit more. But he's just a true, slot guy, and I do think there's value there. It just depends on where he ends up. Now, if a Buffalo were to take him, in a later round, they obviously have a plan for him. If it's going to be a good team like that.
Right.
If the Jaguars take him, getting Ridley back and, having all the people they have in the fold already with Kirk and, they could maybe do something with him. So, even the Cowboys, it wouldn't be a bad landing spot.
No, I'd be all right.
So, I really like this guy, but it just, the size scares me. That's the only thing that, that's really, because yards after the catch, man, if he got it, he wasn't breaking a lot of tackles, but, man, if he had space, he was gone.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, I like him. He is a big play threat. It's just, I don't know how the size will hold up. I know, Ann, you really like him. What do you think about Tank?
Yeah, I think he has a chance to go even in the 3rd round. I think there's a good possibility. I think he is the best route runner in the class. Good explosion, good hip movement. And he, to me, what I seen, actually found a stat. He forced 19 missed tackles in 21 and 22.
Wow.
So for a little guy, now that's not breaking tackles. That's just making people miss. But still, it shows you how good he is with his hips, how explosive he is. Very smart player. He's great off the press. He just sets defenders up so well. I seen it multiple times at the Senior Bowl, but a lot of times these small guys at the Senior Bowl just tear it up in one-on-ones. There's a DB at the Senior Bowl. Like nobody wanted to face him because they didn't want to get embarrassed because he just every play. Like, every time he lined up in one-on-ones. I also thought he had really good body control, and I think he will be a riser. So another thing that kind of concerns me, like TJ, is just his size. Something that I've seen it multiple times. Anything over 20 yards, like, it's not good.
Yeah.
Like his hand fighting just really wasn't good, and I seen him pushing off. And I think it's because he's super small like that.
Right.
Like he's not the 2-2 Atwell where he's going to be 60 yards down the field, throw it up, and he goes under it.
He is 23 too.
Yeah, he's a little bit older. He's still a junior, but I thought he was older because he's at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
So.
Have you guys seen how many times he's transferred? He's went from Florida International University to Alabama A&M to Independence Community College to Houston.
Wow, that's impressive to me.
Yeah, that's someone that's working hard, that's trying,
Yeah.
And I'm cheering for him, man. I hope he makes it. I'm like Ann. I mean, he's just such an intriguing athlete. I mean, he does run really good routes. He's just so shifty.
Yeah.
I think his size helps him in that matter.
Yep.
But that is impressive that he was able to get away from people like that.
Yeah. Something that also kind of concerns me is he was in more of an air raid offense in Houston. Like, they threw the ball quite a bit.
Yeah.
And he didn't really play a bunch of elite competition. When he did, he still played well.
Yeah.
So, and then being, like I said, at the Senior Bowl, there's some really good defensive backs there.
You see he scored 29 touchdowns over the past 2 years?
Yeah, he's a touchdown
and
machine.
2,700 yards.
He's the home run hitter. He's the big play threat.
Touchdown machine.
Yeah.
He is, and I love that, man. You can ask Andy. I watch tape, and I notice them things. I mean, you just watch play after play. Sometimes you get lost.
Yeah. His stats I took into consideration, but like I said, they were kind of an air raid offense, so like you got to take it with a grain of salt.
Right. Where'd you have him ranked?
I have him at 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have him 7.
Yeah, I have him 7 also. So he's just right there. But, I mean, that's impressive for his size to be anywhere near that because there's some big guys in this class that are down there.
Yep.
That's what I said.
I think we're all a little bit higher on him. Where do you have him, Ty?
I really didn't have a list, but if I were to, because I did watch all the guys, probably right like 5-6, somewhere right in there.
So I think we're all a little bit higher because I think consensus is like more of that 10 range.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like this, man. And the hope is like it's just like I go by the talent of what I see. Mm-hmm. You try to put everything else aside, size, this and that. It's like what you see on tape. He does run extremely good routes. I mean, I had him and Addison. Him and Addison were like 1A, 1B.
Yeah.
So he does that really well. He's fast. Like you said, all the touchdowns, he's a big play threat.
Yeah.
And he offers you in the special teams.
Mm-hmm.
So someone's probably going to take a chance on him. I'm like you. I wouldn't be surprised if the third, but I think no worse than the fourth.
Yeah.
Because someone's going to go for that speed. They're going to want it. And really it's just interesting to see like, if one of these teams, one of these highly successful offensive teams brings them in.
Yeah,
because then it's going to get real interesting because it's like, okay, they got a plan for this guy.
Did you guys think he looked like, I know he's 165, but he looks more built.
Yeah, he looks like bulky.
He looks a little bit bulky for 165. So
Yeah. I mean, I really like the guy. I mean, put the size aside. I mean, we'll see what happens in the NFL draft.
That's going to determine a lot.
But I'll tell you what, man, if he comes out the combine, he runs like a low 4.3 or a high 4.2, look out because he could do it. He has the capabilities of doing it. So, like Tank Dell a lot, going to be interesting to see where he ends up. We're going to go over to Ty here. It's going to be another guy that's been getting a little buzz. It's Marvin Mims Jr., wide receiver, Oklahoma Sooners, 5'11", 184 pounds. What do you like about Marvin, Ty?
Yeah, some positives I've seen about Marvin Mims. He's a great blocker. He for his size, 5'11", he's like a real aggressive blocker, so that will definitely help his draft stock. A great route runner. He attacks the open areas very well. Every time we do this, I see him like always get one of these special teams guys, but I'm going to point it out. If you have the special teams fantasy points, he might be an option for you. But a big thing, what people really like about Marvin Mims is his yards after catch. I mean, they say he's in the elite phase for that, so that's definitely good. He's a big play waiting to happen. He loves to make the big play, and he's definitely a deep threat. Some negatives I've seen about Mims, he lacks the size and wingspan for the NFL. He needs a more creative route tree. He really loves to run deep a lot, and can he adjust to the next level? I think he's going to be probably mid to late second round pick in fantasy drafts, and I have his pro comparison being Darnell Mooney.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. Yeah, I mean, Marvin Mims is an interesting player. I mean, there's like I've seen times where I'm like, man, I really like this guy.
Yeah, I know.
Then there's times it's like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be coaching could clean that
little
up.
raw, yeah.
Yeah, a little raw. And like I said, these guys are all prospects, but he does possess some big play potential. That's for sure.
Oh, yeah. He's just such a violent runner.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't see a lot of speed. That's one thing.
No, what I thought, does anybody else think this is weird? He's 5'10"?
5'11".
5'11"?
Yeah.
Okay,
180
5'10",
pounds.
5'11".
5'11", 177.
So, and he would had a lot of deep ball catches, went
Yeah.
up and got it.
I was just going to say that.
So it was kind of strange that somebody that's not even 6 foot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Can he do that in the NFL? That's my big question.
Yeah.
'Cause that's kind of what he excelled at.
Right.
Such strong hands, man. I mean, for his size, I was impressed. Like, he made some really nice catches.
Yeah.
I mean, on the deep ball. So he is kind of a big play guy. I'm like Muss. He runs pretty violent. You know, I mean, he does try hard. And I'll tell you, I'm like Ty. He does need to run a little bit more advanced routes.
Yeah, that's something I have too. He's just not really. I don't want to say he's not a good route runner because I've seen some routes that he ran were good, but it's all kind of the same.
Right.
Right.
So is there something he can't do?
Right, exactly. And it's either he's going to be exposed on that or they can coach it out of him. Let's hope they can coach it out of him.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, if he I'm looking here, I'd love to see him on the Cowboys.
He's one of the few that can play inside and out.
Yeah,
Out
right.
of this class. Everybody's inside.
That's why I have Dallas because they got CD Lamb. That's more that traditional guy he's like a dominator. I mean, he likes to play in the slot too. But Mims can bump around. I mean, you can bump him around.
Yeah.
So it's like I think he'd be a serviceable guy for them.
Did you guys see the catch he had against Texas Tech?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Ooh, that was wild.
Yeah,
it was. It was. The Red Raiders got raped.
I'm going to see where I have him real quick because I actually have him down a little bit.
Yeah.
Not crazy.
I
but-
had him at 6. I actually kind of.
I have.
okay.
I have him at 8. I mean, he's
Okay.
not
Have
super
him at
high.
8.
About right in the middle. Right in the middle right now.
I see flashes of the potential, but I'm just not quite there. I have him at 11.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it just depends. I think it's really going to depend on the capital too. I mean, it's going to
Yeah.
be, this guy here especially. It's going to be interesting to see what the NFL thinks of him. Mm-hmm. It's like, where do they value this guy? Because he's kind of hard to gauge at times,
or wait, he should be at 10. I have Parker Washington right ahead. Yeah, he's at 10.
10, yeah. So
He's
I mean,
at 10.
he's hovering. He's pretty much in everyone's top 10 on this list so far. I mean, we got another session coming up.
I had a few Budweisers when I wrote the list.
Steve Weisers.
Or you can be like me, your eyes just start getting bad.
That's what happened.
Yeah, me too. So Marvin Mims, man, a guy I really like. I mean, I'd like the Cowboys. Is there anywhere certain where you guys like to see him? I mean, maybe Seattle, maybe? That'd be another
Does the
spot.
name Mims scare you?
Right.
Yeah.
If he goes to the Jets, I'm definitely out.
Yeah, no shit. They don't like Mims.
Probably a distant cousin or something.
I kind of think I would like him in Arizona.
Yeah, that'd be a nice
Yeah.
spot.
I think Arizona would be okay, and I think maybe even San Fran.
Maybe even Houston.
Yeah, Houston might be
Yeah.
okay.
It'll be interesting to see. Like I said, I think he's going to be a third rounder because I think he's really tough to gauge.
Yeah.
So I'm going to guess he'll be picked somewhere right around the early to mid third round.
Yeah,
Right.
I think I'm going to say Arizona, and I'm sticking with it.
Sticking with it. That's
Stick
it.
with Arizona.
Yep.
AZ, Ian's Hearts in the Desert. And we're going to go over to the last one here, man. And this one I pity you for this one because this guy is so tough to look at.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a difficult guy.
It's going to be Kayshon Boutte, wide receiver, LSU Tigers, 6 foot, 205 pounds. I'll let you start off on this one, Muss.
So he's a 4-star recruit. Start off with that. 2020 played 10 games, 45 catches, 735 yards, 5 touchdowns. Then he upgraded 2021. 37 catches, 503 yards, 9 touchdowns. There's not many receivers, but if we're sitting here a year from now, looking back, I could see this guy being the number 1 receiver out of this class.
Yep. I
But
said the same thing.
You could also see him completely busting.
Yes.
Big time.
That's so funny.
So, there's only a couple receivers I see in this class. It's like, okay, I see a route that we're like, this guy, we're looking at him a year from now and being like, yep, that was the number 1 guy out of this class, and this is one of them guys. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, he's explosive after the catch, just a great frame. I mean, in just quickness, hands. But the injury, off-field concerns, and then a lot of hand catches. I don't know if you guys noticed that with the hand catches.
He had a lot of drops.
Yeah.
A lot of concentration drops.
Yeah.
He had a 12% drop rate.
Yeah, which
That's
isn't
bad.
That is bad. So, I mean, he looks so great, but then he can look so poopy, I guess.
That's it, man. And that's the thing. Like, and I know you've seen this, so I'm sure you've seen it. You watch a play like he made against Georgia. He grabbed that ball, man, and he run a nice route to beat the corner. He took it to the house. I mean, it's like, there's that guy. Then I watch a game. I can't remember which one it was. He's in motion, and he runs into the right tackle and falls down.
Yeah.
I said, I don't think I've ever seen that, especially out of an elite prospect.
Could be.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's one of them, like, he's going to have to go to somewhere where they're going to have to get his head on right.
Yeah, he's got to go to, like, I'd love to see him in KC with Andy Reid.
Yep.
I would love to see him Bill Belichick. I think he would be okay in New England.
Yeah.
I do.
I mean, if they could get these sex parties and off-field stuff.
Yeah, and he was fighting around with LSU. Like, they said the chances of him coming back to LSU and playing this year were, like, slim to none.
Right.
And he did, so, I don't know what happened behind closed doors.
Oh, we know what happened behind closed doors.
Well, we don't, because was he the caboose? Or?
Yeah, that's true. It takes a real man to be the caboose, though.
I'll tell you, man, and that's the thing. Like with Kayshon Boutte, it's like he was the hardest guy to judge because you've seen the talent, and you're just like, man, this guy could be the steal of the draft, like you said.
Yep.
And then you watch some of it, and it's like, man, this guy could be the biggest bust.
Exactly.
And really, between him and Quentin Johnson, them are the two guys, and I haven't watched Quentin Johnson yet. But, I mean, everything I've seen in the past and everything I've heard, I mean, it's like these guys will probably be the two biggest boom-bust players.
Yeah.
Landing spot dependent, I think.
Very.
Yeah.
It really
I've
is.
seen him comp to Percy Harvin quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I see that high of
Athlete.
of an athlete, but I do see it. I do kind of see it.
Yeah.
He shows those glimpses, and like I said, man, it's unbelievable when he wants it. It just seems like another thing is, too, like, I don't know if you've seen this, giving up on some routes sometimes, just low effort sometimes.
Yep.
It's like, man, I'm like you guys, he needs the right coach. He needs the right system to be put in.
Do you guys think, I kind of put, and maybe it's because it just his maturity. I didn't know if he's really a refined route runner. Like, I think he's more get the ball in his hands and let him just out athletic everybody.
Yep.
So I do think he needs to work on some route running.
And I did see a mock draft had him going to Atlanta, and I thought, oh my
God.
I said, if that happens, that's the biggest nail in the coffin.
Yep. If it's Atlanta, I'm out.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all seen what's going on with the Twin Towers, Drake London and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
I just feel like, and I don't know, I feel like something else, because these teams start digging in, something else is going to come out about him.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, who knows what the hell it is, but because we see it every year. The one dude that had the weed mask on, Larry Tunsil.
Yeah.
But then that was back like a long time. Was he in high school or something? Like
Then the Warren Sapp with cocaine right before the draft.
Yeah.
Dropped his stock. So, I mean,
he's just somebody that I can see that happening with.
Right.
do you guys think he ends up someone takes a chance in the first? You think he's mainly second?
No, I think he's
I think he'll be an early second.
early second.
Yeah, I think that what Atlanta's picking around the 10 range in the second. That's where they had him mocked.
I would hate Atlanta.
I would not like Atlanta. Although I think he would complement Drake London and Kyle Pitts because he's, kind
just a different type of player.
He's a different type, but
yeah, can he just handle being in Atlanta? Because you see like guys like Calvin Ridley betting on games. And,
do they really want to waste capital on a guy that has characteristic issues?
He needs to go to like a Green Bay, like a small town city that's not like big city lights.
Yeah, because if he goes to Vegas or something,
Not
Miami,
not Pittsburgh either.
No,
we can't handle them kind of players.
Yeah,
well, Tomlin can't.
Yeah, we saw with Claypool and
We want more music at practice.
yeah,
I don't.
So I mean, like, where do you guys have him ranked? Because this was the hard part for me. So I'm just curious where you.
I have him 5.
You have him 5.
I mean, and like
I think that's really good. Yeah,
because I mean, I see the obviously you got JSN and Addison, and then I believe I have Hyatt.
I got him 6. I got him 6.
I got him 6 too, man. I mean, it's just I have Smith Njigba, Addison, Reed, Hyatt, Downs, and Boutte.
Yep, I got him at 6.
And I'm like Muscles. I mean, that's almost travesty when you see the talent. It's
Oh
like,
yeah,
And I might switch him because I got Tank Dell at 5. Let's just see. Let's just see.
And
This
the call
is before the combine, before the draft. We're going to go over these guys once they get their landing spots too.
Yep,
Right.
Yep, and that's the thing, guys. The combine's coming up, so make sure you guys watch that because it is really important. Because some of these guys might really bust out, or they might show out.
Yeah, and if they don't, we'll tell you what happened
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna be on top of it.
yeah.
for $3.99. I'm playing.
Free shipping.
Shit is free.
Free shipping.
Yep.
But that's going to do it for the second wide receiver show, wide receiver tape review. We got one more to go next week.
Yeah.
One more in the wide receiver. This is pre-NFL draft film session. It'll be the last show next week, and that'll be it. And the wide
And we do
receivers done.
some of these turds so that way you know they're turds. Like
Yeah, right.
Rakeem
Yeah.
Jarrett, Dante Demas.
Well, you could find a diamond in the rough. I mean, we found Jaden Reed that we really like.
Yeah.
I mean, some people are probably high on
kind
him.
of digging Michael Wilson.
Yeah. I mean,
Kind of like Tank Dell a little more than consensus.
yeah, don't mind Xavier Hutchinson too bad.
Yeah.
Marvin Mims ain't horrible. I mean,
No.
I'd take chances on them guys in 3rd, 4th round. Mm-hmm. So them are just people that we have to go over, but we're going to go over the last show. And as everyone knows, we got Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnson, some of the bigger
Yeah.
names on that one too.
I can't wait to watch Zay Flowers with all the shit I
Yeah.
see on Twitter.
It's
Like,
the hype's real. That's why we wanted to save him.
yeah.
We wanted to save him for the last one.
I was kind of surprised when they had him mocked in the first.
Yeah, I
Like, that was-
know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know they say the Giants really covet him, so we'll see what happens. But that's definitely something you guys want to tune into. It'll be a lot of fun going over
Yeah.
the last receivers of the class for the pre-NFL draft film session. That'll be next week's show. And then we're going to be jumping into some free agency stuff because that'll be that time of year.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun. So tune in next week for the last receiver film session. Again, guys, we got to mention a couple things. The Bijan Robinson mini helmet giveaway. Couple ways to win it. The first way, follow us on Twitter at DynastyDNA_. Retweet the tweet with the helmet. You're entered once, so you have one chance to win. Hey, and if you want 2 chances, head over on here to YouTube, subscribe to us, put it in the comments, or screenshot it on the helmet pic on YouTube. Say, hey, I subscribe. If you do both, you get 2 chances to win.
And another cool thing that we're just starting on YouTube too. TJ and I kind of talked about. We're doing like shorts. Like
Yep.
we did post Kendre Miller. It's like a 4-minute video with some fun facts and
just how-
going over what we said in the show.
Yeah,
Right.
and just how we feel about that player, because maybe you guys just want to go back and see how we feel about a certain guy.
Yeah.
And you'll get to see that.
That way you don't gotta go through the whole video stuff like that.
Yeah, and we're going to break them down. We're going to try to release maybe 1 or 2 of those a week for you, so just to keep content pumping in. We appreciate you guys. Can't say enough. Follow us over on DynastyDNA_ at Twitter. You guys are the best. The DNA Strand crew is just growing and growing. And I mean,
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I know you guys, we talked about it. I mean, we just go up and up and up. And you guys, it just means the world to us. I mean, it's just a lot of fun bringing you content. We love these topics. We love talking about it with the community.
Yeah.
So many nice messages on Twitter.
Oh yeah, so many people reaching out and saying like, "Hey, we love your stuff. You're doing a great job." So
Yeah, and that means the world to us, and we love talking. So, and you guys want to leave a comment on YouTube, leave a comment on Twitter, or message. We'll
No question's a stupid question either. Like we talked about that. Like if you were to ask us, would you give up 210 for Alvin Kamara? We're not going to say you're an idiot.
No.
Just say no. I wouldn't do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
hey, I would like to try to get an upside guy with it.
Yeah. We try to add to the trade package.
Exactly.
So definitely do that, guys. Join in with us. Your support's been the best. We can't thank you enough. Follow us over on Spotify, Apple Pod, Stitcher, Amazon, Google, you name it, we're on it. We appreciate you guys following us over there. Check us out on YouTube, follow and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Dynasty DNA.
See you guys.
See ya.